How's it going, everybody? Mickey D here, coming at you live, man, yet again. Today, we're talking about Tron Ares, the newest Tron movie, starring Jared Leto as the main actor, and some overall thoughts. So we will be doing a spoiler-free section very quickly, and then we will be jumping into a spoiler section. I watched the movie last night, wanted to give some opinions on the movie. So, spoiler-free section. I don't think it was really that good. Yeah, I think, like, you're kind of getting what you expected with Jared Leto. That anything I find he's in is just not good. That's his personal opinion. I think the soundtrack was good. I think the visuals were good. I think the plot was bad. I think the acting was bad, and I think the overall movie was bad. I think the premise was good, just not executed really good at all. But yeah, the idea, if you've seen the trailer, the idea is, pretty cool. Jared Leto is like basically I'll just call it like a Tron guy. We'll talk about spoilers, of course, and get more specific. But yeah, he's supposed to be like, in the world of Tron. Tron is actually a character, by the way, not in this movie. Spoiler. But yeah, so he's actually supposed to be a character. That doesn't exist so much. But the idea, is pretty self-explanatory in this one. It looks like the Tron world will be interacting with the human world seen by the trailers. So I thought that idea was really interesting, and I thought that would be cool because in Tron Legacy, doesn't really so much happen. Now, in the spoiler section, I'm going to bring up Tron Legacy because I'm more familiar with that movie. I've seen that a couple times. I've seen the original like once, a very long time ago. But yes, I am more familiar with Legacy, and I want to kind of relate some things to Legacy and this movie. So overall, just with the spoiler-free section, I'd probably give it like a 2. To be quite honest, 2 out of 5. I think that's a generous rating. I don't know. That's what I'd have to give it. But again, we'll get more into specifics, and maybe that'll explain why in the spoiler section. So spoiler section coming up now. So you've been warned. 3, 2, 1. You got it. All right, so spoiler section. So I'll give a quick overview of the plot, kind of roughly, and then we'll kind of talk about maybe some specifics. So Jared Leto is he's like an AI construct, right, in Tron, in the world, whatever you want to call it. And his name is Ares. So Tron Ares, he's Ares. Okay. He's basically, I don't know, there's a proper term for it in the movie, but he's basically a security program. He is an antivirus. And he's good. He is strong. He's powerful. He's a good fighter. And he can vanquish his enemies. So throughout the movie, there's multiple points where like Sam Flynn has brought up. Now, if you know who Sam Flynn is, he's the son, right, of the big man, who has created the world, right? Now in Tron Legacy, Sam is the main character. I forget his father's name actually. I may be looking it up right now. But that's the thing. So he's the main character of the previous film, and it's directly referenced. Like certain things are directly referenced. Sorry, from the previous movie. Okay. So in the beginning, there's like a news thing. There's like a news article comes up, and they're like, oh look, Sam Flynn like stepped down, and it's like why? Why did Sam Flynn step down? Where's Cora? Right? Like from the other movie. It doesn't make any sense. The previous movie was so hopeful in the ending, right? It was so nice, and it was like, okay, that's gonna cool. Like now look at this. And it's like it's like completely thrown out the window. That's kind of how I'm taking it from this movie, and it's really unfortunate because it's like that really I think it set up a lot, and it's just kind of crapped on the audience. It took a dump on the audience pretty harshly, in my opinion. Pretty harshly. Not good. So not a good time. I was not a fan of that, to be quite honest with you. Not feeling that. So that being said, though, so there's a main character in this movie. Of course, Jared Leto is Ares, and then you have Eve Kim. I didn't really care for Eve. I'm gonna be honest. Like her character, she was trying to like find out what Sam's code was, his like hidden code, or Kevin's code maybe, but I think it was Sam's. There's 2 companies. I think it's like Encom, and I forget the other one. So they're like fighting, and she's like Encom, I guess, and like there's the other company. They're fighting to like get the rights, I guess, to the code, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to materialize things from the imagined world and bring it into the real world. But they have a 29-minute countdown timer before it disintegrates, before it can't like stay in the real world any longer. And it's used a lot throughout the movie to show like that's a problem. Yeah, it just like there's multiple scenes where like someone's gonna get like taken out, you know. Like Ares has like a team, so like of other AI, and one of them, I forget her name, but she's like basically the one of the antagonists. She's like clearly can like blow away Eve in like 2 seconds, and she like feels the rain for a second and then looks down and the timer's like 3, 2, 1, and she just like disintegrates. So that actually happens a couple times throughout the movie, which is really unfortunate, because I wanted to see more of that. But the main idea is that like there's supposed to be some kind of line of code that allows anything they materialize to stay permanently, and of course that gets found, and then it's basically a very predictable plot line that Jared Leto's character is like trying to be human. He's starting to feel, and he's like, yeah, all right, I want to be alive. I want to be in the real world, and I want to see it. I didn't really buy his performance. I think like the idea was he was trying to be like robotic because he is a robot, but there was like some jokes that just like didn't really make any sense. So he actually meets Kevin Flynn. It's like a code of Kevin, like a hologram. I thought that was okay. But he meets him, and Kevin says, "You could say that again," and he just says it again, and Kevin just laughs. It's like, dude, that like it's just so dumb, right? Like the dialogue is just atrocious. So something that I thought was really funny is they fly in like 3 ships near the end of the movie. They fly in like 3 ships into like a city, and like they've got like firefighters like getting people out of there. And it's like, dude, there's no way like an unidentified flying object would be like flying into a city without like 2 fucking fighter jets on it within like 2 minutes. It's not possible. They do show some fighter jets, and I don't even think those fight scenes were really that good. They didn't even really evade the ships very well. They just got taken out instantly. One of them like crashes into the ship anyway and like saves the day, I guess, in a way of thinking. But yeah, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. You didn't sell me. You didn't sell me on it. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess like it's just overall, Jared Leto finds his humanity as an AI and lives amongst the humans permanently. Eve, is just chilling. And then the other characters are whatever. But it just didn't. I wasn't really sold by it. I think being generous is a 2 out of 5. I think it was very mediocre. That's just my take, obviously. That's all I got. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Go check it out if you want to. It's interesting, and maybe it's worth a watch to you. But anyway, that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Take it easy. Peace.